Are you wondering what the best neighborhoods are where the parking is the best in Philadelphia? Stay tuned. Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Gregory Martire, local realtor, local information expert. Today we're talking about all the best neighborhoods based on parking in Philadelphia, in the beautiful city. Now we'll talk about the city, and on another video we'll talk about outside of the city, how great it is to park or how great it isn't to park. Now the first thing I want to mention is they made a whole reality show on the Philadelphia Parking Authority, which is, hey, look, we're proud of it. Some people may not be proud of it, but look, it's the truth. So the PPA, the Philadelphia Parking Authority, is tough. They're tough as nails, but they also have the biggest hearts, just like every Philadelphian. From Ben Franklin to our great mayor. No, but seriously though, it's called Parking Wars. Gotta check it out. But let's talk about the best neighborhoods to park and live in Philadelphia. Now, we strictly did it based on the amount of houses in a certain area and the parking is available there. So I'm sure some people have certain comments and there are other areas that we're missing, but we did it strictly on the number of houses with the number of parking spots. So here we go. All right, so before I get into some of the neighborhoods, I want to talk about how to get the best, cheapest parking in the city. Now, these are some tricks of the trade. So first of all, let's start with loading zones. Now, you can't park there all day, but if you needed to run in and run out of somewhere, maybe under 20 minutes, free. That's right, everybody can afford free. Now, don't get caught window shopping while you're in a loading zone, but you certainly can park there for free. Our cheapest option in Philadelphia. So do you live in the city or work in the city? You can get special privileges for resident parking. Now, if you own a property in the city, you can park in your residence zone for about 2 hours without any repercussion. Even the big bad PPA won't come and tow you or boot you as long as you're parked within your zone and you have a permit. So get yourself a parking permit. Will save you a lot of tickets, save you a lot of hassle. Great way for cheap, free, least expensive parking. Now next one's really cool. You can reserve a space up to 3 days in advance of you moving into the city and pay $25 and get yourself a 40-foot spot outside of your new dwelling. Now, if you're looking for more information on that, shoot me a text or you can send me an email about it. But it's a huge, huge help. I mean, 40 feet's a lot. Put your big moving truck there or a few cars, but it gives you that ability to have space to be able to move in with ease. Okay, now, the Philadelphia Parking Authority, as long as your ticket hasn't been printed, and if you're asked nicely, they can rescind the ticket. Now, it's relative now. Don't think just because you don't see the piece of paper coming out of the machine that it's not done. They're clicking along. So if you get on your hands and knees and start begging, I'm just kidding. But you could get the ticket erased as long as they haven't printed it out. Once they print it, I'm sorry, it's too late. You got to pay it. And look, sometimes, here's a little hint, it's cheaper to take the ticket than to pay for parking. Now, watch what areas you park in illegally, as long as you're not blocking something. Maybe the middle of the road, that's not the best idea. Or blocking a hospital entrance, no, not really. But if you parked illegally and safely, the tickets are inexpensive. Well, they're on the less expensive side, under $40, which would cost you about that much to get into a parking garage. So another helpful hint, and the last one, is prepaying the meter. Now, the meters start at 8 a.m. If you prepay at 7 a.m., you can park there till 10 o'clock. So you see how we got you an extra hour. Maybe you want to get up a little earlier. 6:30 works for me. Prepay, get a free hour. You heard it here. So if you're looking for a monthly option for a dedicated parking spot, hopefully near your house or maybe near work or somewhere convenient that you want to be, maybe somewhere halfway in between, you're going to run about $300 a month. Now, there are some as less as $200 a month, but figure about that $300 a month. Amount could be more, could be less, depending on where you go. Now, parking spots are available to purchase all around the city. Hit me up for a list if you'd like to see it. They run anywhere from like $15,000 to $30,000. Again, that's a very broad range. They're usually right in that $20,000, $25,000 range, depending on where it is and what it is, if they are actually for sale. So let me know and I can certainly get you a list. So the city of brotherly love, if you're in Center City, Love Garage, Love Park and Garage, or is it Love Garage and Park? It's a 1500 block of Arch Street. You can get a weekend parking spot for about $130. Now it's a little trick, little hint. First come, first serve. A great spot for cheap parking. Now, also in Center City at 36th and Market, they got a pretty good, decent rate there. It's like $275 to park all month for 24/7. That's pretty good for Center City. Check out, they've got some specials on there. And there's always specials running. We'll put some links below. While you're below, hit subscribe, hit comment, hit like. If you like it, great. If you don't, hit that comment button anyway. And don't forget to click the bell notification for all the parking benefits that we have on this video and all of our great videos. But let's get back to it. Parking in Philadelphia. All right, so let's get to it. Let's talk about the 3 best neighborhoods for parking in Philadelphia. Coming in at number 3, Fairmount Park. Now, no pun intended, or is the pun intended, but Fairmount Park has about a 50% score on our parking meter, if you will. Again, we're basing this on the amount of houses in the area with the amount of parking spots that come with the house. So these areas are going to generally have parking on both sides of the street, lots of off-street parking availability, whether it's behind your house or maybe in a garage or maybe in a parking lot. So if you're going to live in Fairmount Park, you're not going to have to walk too far with your groceries if you happen to drive out, or if you're driving outside of the city for a weekend hike. When you get back, you're not going to have to walk too far, but Fairmount Park is number 3. All right, so number two is Oxford Circle, near Castor, if you will. Now, this part of the city, you're not really near Center City as much, but there are a ton of parking opportunities. Most of the houses have parking. Again, I say most, it's based on a larger scale of counting buildings and counting parking spots, but great bang for your buck for prices. Excellent opportunity for a great price point of properties. You get a lot of house for your money, and you can certainly park where you live. All right, so number 1 best place to park, best neighborhood in Philadelphia for parking, number 1, Penn's Landing. Now, promise you won't park in the river. Now, that doesn't count. There's a ton of river space, but I do not suggest you actually park in the river. But there is a ton of parking available based on the number of houses with the amount of parking spots that comes with it. Now, this is if you're purchasing, and also for rent, there's a ton of opportunity. Most or a lot, it gets a nearly 100% score on our parking scale, on our parking meter scale. But Penn's Landing comes in at number 1. Now, with Philadelphia being one of the most walkable cities, it's like, who cares where I park? But sometimes it's an important consideration. Maybe you're commuting outside of the city, or you just like to have your car near your house, or you just like to know where it is and it's in a safe spot. So if you wanted some better information on that, or if you wanted a list of houses with parking opportunities, you can go on our website, or you can call me or send me a text or send me an email. I wanted to mention a couple of other neighborhoods. Certainly Roxborough, Germantown. In that general vicinity, now not quite to Manayunk, that's going to be in our next video about the worst places to park, but Roxborough's got a great opportunity. There's a lot of on-street and a lot of off-street parking, a lot of driveways, a lot of alleyways getting behind the house for parking spots. You've got driveways and garages, and you're still in the city. Now you're getting on the outskirts of the city, but that's a great spot. Pretty much anywhere in the Northeast, the greater Northeast, as they say, the greater Northeast. Is it greater? Well, it's greater because you keep getting north and northeast. So what's my point? The outskirts of the city have the most parking available. As you get closer to Center City, and in the city, not as much, but that's not to say you'll never find parking. There are certain areas that you will have a hard time finding parking in, but that's on the next video. I appreciate you stopping out. Please like, hit subscribe, and comment. Appreciate your support of the channel. I look forward to talking to you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody.